Evening everybody, welcome to Casita's virtual kitchen. I hope we're all keeping well. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing on the link below. Push the bell for the notifications of any new videos that we're going to bring to you, and comment if you like what you've seen today. Today we're going to do one of my personal favourites. It's a chorizo and chickpea stew. I'm going to serve that with a really silky, really smooth celeriac puree. So plenty of ingredients. I'm going to talk through what we've got here. So we start over to the right. I've got some celeriac. So I've just diced this up, quite small cubes, around sort of 1.5 centimetre cube. Got a little bit of chicken stock. It's going to be for the stew itself. A bit of thyme and a bit of garlic. And then in here I've just got some little shallots. Now these I've actually just roasted off a little bit, just to start the cooking process. Some tinned chickpeas, they're just drained and washed. Some diced smoked chorizo, some salt, a little bit of butter, and then over this side I've got some double cream, which is going to go in the puree. I've got some white truffle oil, a little bit of olive oil, some red wine, a bit of honey, and the milk. So the puree is dead simple. We're going to go in with the celeriac into the pan. I'm going to season it up with a little bit of salt. I'm going to go in with a nice bit of butter. And then all we're going to do is we're going to cover this with some whole milk. It's always better to cook with whole milk, it's a little bit richer, and it sort of boils up a little bit nicer. So all we're going to do is just cover that. I'm going to turn it on. Now with the puree, you just want to bring it to the boil. You want to drop it down to a nice gentle simmer. Make sure it doesn't catch on the bottom. If you think it's catching, just change the pan. Otherwise, obviously, you start to get burnt flavour. So you're going to bring that to the boil, and you're going to just simmer that until it's soft. The celeriac puree's just come up to a nice gentle simmer now, so that's what we want. We're just going to cook it now until it's soft, and then we're going to strain it off, add the cream. So now to the exciting part, the actual stew, the chorizo and chickpea stew. Pan nice and warm. I'm going to go with a little bit of olive oil just to start. And then we're going to go in with a bit of butter. Again, if you've watched one of our previous videos, the octopus stew, we had a nice bit of butter because that's going to enrich the stew. So we're going to start with a nice bit of butter. You can leave this out if you're feeling healthy. In with the chorizo. So we're going to roast that off. So we want all the oils, all the flavour out of that. So I'm going to start just with that, and then I'm going to prepare a little bit of garlic to go with that. So a couple of cloves, just nice and thinly sliced. I'm going to add this to the chorizo now. So we get this in at the beginning because I want this garlic to crisp up a little bit. I don't want it to be raw, so I'm going to get it in quite near the beginning to get all the flavour out of that. Get a last little bit in. Just give it a little shake. And now we're just going to roast this, just get all those oils out and all that garlic nice and crispy. So as you can see, all the oils are now coming out of the chorizo. The garlic's getting nice and crispy and brown. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to go in with a little bit of thyme and the shallots that we've already slightly roasted in the oven. Now the idea now is to get a real nice colour on these shallots. You're going to roast them off with all the chorizo. Okay, so we can see the onions are nice and roasted. They've got a lovely colour, and obviously the chorizo is giving it a beautiful colour as well. So now we're going to go in with the chickpeas. If you're not a massive chickpea fan, you could do these with a different kind of, butter beans, something like that would work really well, or white beans as opposed to chickpeas. The chickpeas just are really nice for this, and they're quite robust. So we're going to go with a little bit of salt now, just going to season it up. A little bit of pepper. So all we want to do now is just get a little bit more flavour into those chickpeas. Now we're going to deglaze it with some red wine. Okay, so you can be as generous as you want. The better wine you put in, the better sauce you're going to get. So obviously it's entirely up to you. If you've got one that's not really drinkable anymore, that's perfectly fine as well, because obviously we're going to boil off any sort of alcohol that it's got, and we just want that fruity flavour. So we're in with the red wine. I'm going to go in with a nice little bit. It's going to take sort of 5-6 minutes to reduce down. You want it on quite high heat, you want to reduce it quite quickly, so get your stove on quite high. I'm just going to check the celeriac puree. So all you need to do is just scoop a little bit out, and we're going to check it. And all you do is just see how soft it's getting. It's starting to get there. It's probably going to need another 3 or 4 minutes, and then we can strain that off, and then we're going to go for the next bit. Wonderful, so the celeriac is soft. I've drained it off, so we drain off all the milk. I've added it back to the pan, and then all we need to do for that is bring the cream to the boil. So this is roughly half a celeriac. It's had around 250 ml of cream. So all we're going to do is bring it up to the boil, and then that's it. Don't need to cook it anymore, it's already soft. We'll then transfer it to the blender, and then we'll go through all of that. The chickpea stew, the red wine's now reduced, so it's kind of down by half, is where we want it. Just going to go with a little bit of chicken stock. If you haven't got chicken stock, you can always use beef stock, vegetable stock, but obviously the chicken stock gives it a nice sort of richness in it, and it works really well with the chorizo and the onions. So we reduce the stock down to it's sort of a nice sauce consistency. Then we're going to finish that with a little bit of green, a little bit of honey. We'll come back there. This celeriac puree is just come up to the boil now, so we're going to transfer that to the blender very soon. Wonderful, so we've got our celeriac puree in the blender now. Just going to season this up with a little bit of salt and a little bit of truffle oil. If you haven't got truffle oil, that's absolutely fine, but it does work really well. Nice little drizzle in there. And then we're just going to blend that up. And we're looking for a silky smooth puree now. So we're going to blend it to this silky smooth. Wonderful, so we're just going to check this now. So you can see how silky smooth it is. Just across the spoon. Have a little taste. Wonderful, perfect. So it's seasoned really nicely. It's really silky smooth. So we're going to bring that over here. Obviously I've made plenty. There's not enough chorizo and stew to go with it. It's perfect for a roast dinner or anything else you want to use it for. So the stew now is reduced down. Okay, so we're just going to finish the stew now. So while that's coming back up to the boil, I'm just going to prepare a little bit of green, so a little bit of spring onion, nice and thinly sliced. We won't use the whole thing, but nice, just thinly sliced. So a bit of green, and then just a little bit of fat leaf parsley. Wonderful. So that's going to garnish the stew. If you're feeling a little bit adventurous, you want to do some nice kind of celeriac crisps or sweet potato crisps, a little bit of hot oil, some nice thin peelings, deep fry those, they'll go really nice with the top. We haven't done that today, but they would go really well. Okay, I'm going to go in with a little bit of honey, so this is just going to sweeten everything up a little bit. It's going to glaze the sausage a little bit more and all the onions in there, so a nice bit of honey. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit more pepper. A little bit more salt, and what we're going to do is we're going to go over the greens that we've sliced, so the spring onions, parsley, just give that a mix in. So we're just going to give that about 10-15 seconds now with the honey, just to sort of bring that to the boil. I'm going to concentrate on plating it, so be as generous as you like. If you like the puree, be really generous. I'm just going to scoop this in. See how smooth it is, really nice. I like to kind of keep mine from, one side with the celeriac and one side with the actual stew, but you can plate it however you like. Wonderful. So we're just going to mix this up now, and then we're going to go into the bowl. Turn this off, it's done. So you're going to be quite generous with all the liquor, all that sort of beautiful red wine and chicken stock that we've reduced down. Just get a nice mix of everything in. You don't want it swimming with the liquor, you kind of want that kind of even balance between the actual chickpeas, chorizo and everything else. Wonderful, a little bit more, there we go. Fab, like I said, if you did have some beautiful sort of nice veggie crisps to put on the top, that would be fabulous. So I hope you've enjoyed your instalment for today. This is Casita's virtual kitchen. If you haven't already, like I said at the beginning of the video, please subscribe, show your support so we can keep making fantastic videos for you. Ring the bell for the notifications. We do post around once a week. And if you have a go, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the recipe. Again, appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and take care, everybody. See you later.